to this beat.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching your man, Captain Will. Thank you so much. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk, and follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. And wherever you get your podcast, you can find me in this program and the biggest podcast YouTube channel covering Gamecock sports, and specifically South Carolina women's basketball team, the three-time national champions. In today's episode, we're going to delve deep inside how LSU's defense matches up against South Carolina's explosive offense. Before we get started, you already know, if you're a Gamecock fan or if you're an LSU fan, you already know the game has been changed from tomorrow night. It is changed now to Friday at 5:00 p.m. No more game day, no more hoopla, no more the 18, no more of El Duncan and Neka Gumuke and Andre Carter. No more of them coming down for game day. That ain't happening. It ain't going down because of the weather that's going on in Louisiana. It's some crazy weather that's going on. I hope y'all are trying to keep it warm the best that you can. So now LSU gets another day of preparation. South Carolina gets another day of preparation in this huge matchup of top 5 teams according to the AP poll, top 10 teams according to the net ranking, and the strength of LSU women's basketball team. I should say the tension of LSU's women's basketball team is highlighted, is focused on their offense, but their defense is really good. They have a really good defense. You don't go 20-0 by mistake. Okay, the schedule is what it is. It works for Moki. Not a fan whatsoever of LSU's schedule. Not a fan whatsoever, but it works for them. And conference play has been, in my humble opinion, up and down. It hasn't been great for LSU women's basketball, the LSU Tigers, but they are about to play the best team in the country. They're about to play the best team in the country. Going to the net ranking, South Carolina is number 1 team in the country. Okay, so LSU's defense. Currently, they are 13th in field goal percentage allowed. That is wonderful. And the strength of schedule, it ain't nothing to sneeze about now. The strength of schedule, I think, is 40th in strength of schedule. So that's a really good strength of schedule. The non-conference strength of schedule is, I want to say, 70th now. LSU's defensive rating is 20th in the country. If you are 20th in defensive rating and you are top 15, which LSU is 13th in field goal percentage allowed, you have a excellent defense. And it don't stop there. 22nd in 2-point percentage allowed. In 3-point percentage allowed, they're 44th in the country, and 53rd in block percentage. For the new folks who watching me, for some of the LSU fans who watching me right now who ain't never seen this cat right here, I'm an analytics nerd. I love it, and I lean to analytics more often than not when it becomes it separates you. So I look more at the block percentage. I look more at the assist percentage, the steal percentage, the defensive rebound percentage, because you have different possessions. The frequency of possessions is different. You have an LSU team that has a faster pace of play, one of the fastest in the country. I think it's like top 12, top 15 in the country, and they average about 78 possessions per game. Carolina, much slower, average about 71 possessions per game. So I kind of look at that aspect in terms of percentages. It gives me a clear picture, and it kind of evens the playing field when we are discussing teams. Steal percentage, they're 55th in the country and 77th in defensive rebounding percentage. The key focus in LSU's defensive strengths are field goal percentage allowed, which is 13th, 20th in defensive rating, and 2-point percentage allowed. They are 22nd in the country. Now, LSU has a strong interior presence. They've had a strong interior presence for a while, with Angel Reese being there, and Reese obviously isn't there anymore, but Anissa Morrow is still there, and she is very good defensively. I don't think she gets enough credit defensively as she does offensively, but she is a very good defensive player, and LSU is physical. South Carolina just played a team. Just played a team that was trying to be over physical. See how that went out for them? See what happened there? What happened was Oklahoma got out physical against South Carolina. LSU has a rivalry with Carolina. The last time South Carolina LSU played, it was in the SEC conference tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. Y'all know what went down with that. But even before then, there's been a lot of back and forth between the rosters, between the coaching staff, just a lot of things, and fighting the same recruiting wars, all those things. But at the end of the day, LSU can defend post players. And Carolina has a great post presence. Anissa Morrow giving you 33 minutes per game. She's giving you 11 defensive rebounds per game. She's giving you 3 steals. She's giving you 1 block. Her defensive rating is 72.2, which is second. Remember I said that she's a really good defensive player? She's second. Her defensive rating is second in the SEC and 20th in the United States of America. Anissa Morrow is the truth. I saw some fans commenting. Obviously, it was LSU fans that was commenting about when I said that Anissa Morrow is the best player on LSU's team. Some folks were saying Flau'jae, and I can hear it. I can see it. I mean, Flau'jae is averaging more points, but Anissa Morrow is a better offensively and defensively combination player on their basketball team. Second in the SEC in terms of defensive rebound percentage, 9th in the SEC in terms of steal percentage. She's a problem. She's a problem. Samaya Smith don't play as much because LSU don't play their bench a lot, but she gets them 18 minutes. She gets 3 defensive rebounds. She gets some, 1 steal. I think it's 1.4 blocks per game. She has a defensive rating of 77.9. That's really good as well. She's 7th in the conference in terms of blocks per game. Those 2 post defenders would be a problem for South Carolina. But here's the thing. It's going to be a problem for South Carolina, but also South Carolina's post players is going to be a problem for LSU. And the 3-headed monster of South Carolina with Joyce Edwards and Chloe Kitts and Sania Feagin are problem solvers. There were some naysayers that cried, moaned, canceled Christmas, canceled their plans in Birmingham for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, canceled their plans for Florida for the Final Four. Hotel rooms were available because some South Carolina fans saw with the injury to Ashlyn Watkins, like, oh, all hope is lost. So what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do? But you know what happened? The players of South Carolina and the coaching staff rallied around this team and started playing better. Starting with offensive player named Joyce Edwards, a freshman. She was number 3 ranked in the recruiting class in 2024. Gatorade Player of the Year. Multiple time MVP at so many different Nike Summit, McDonald's All-American, got a gold medal this summer. She was rated as the MVP of the tournament across the world. That's Joyce Edwards. Joyce Edwards is giving you 20 minutes. She's the leading scorer for South Carolina. She gave you 12 points. She's shooting about 57% from the field. She's shooting from the 2-point line about, for 2-point percentage, she's getting you about 57% as well. So that's consistent. But she's also deadly at the free throw line. She's giving you 80% from the free throw line. And she goes to the foul line because she is an old school player. If you want to watch some old school moves, you turn on the tape and you watch Joyce Edwards. That's what it is. She is an old soul playing basketball, and I love every second of it. Love every second of it. I would love the post moves. I love the bodying up. I love all that. She's giving you 5 rebounds. She gave me an assist. She gave me a steal. She gave me a couple of turnovers. The turnovers are much lower now because she's figured it out. Joyce Edwards is 8th in the SEC in terms of free throw percentage, 6 for 3 post player. She's 8th in the SEC in terms of player efficiency. She is 10th in the SEC in offensive rebounding percentage. Joyce Edwards is different. And she is only getting better. Saw an interview that Dawn Staley did. She was talking about Joyce Edwards, and this was after the Oklahoma game. Like, she works out before the game. She works out after the game. She works out with her dad. Met her dad, great dude, hard working. And I see why Joyce was academically so highly rated in high school. And I see why. Because she constantly wants to be better. Dawn says she got to make sure she take care of her body and do all those preparations to make sure that she don't hit that, Ricky wall and all those things that rookies go through, all these things that freshmen go through. I made the point, or if I didn't make the point, I'm gonna make the point right now. I think Joyce is different than ordinary freshmen who specialize in basketball. I think she's different because I was never a fan of specialized sports. So my child is going to do, a certain sport 12 months out the year. You see a lot of baseball injuries. You see the Tommy John injuries, with tearing ligaments in their throwing arm. In baseball, because the kids don't get a break because they playing baseball year round, right? A lot of players, a lot of athletes do the same thing with basketball, do the same thing with soccer, do the same thing with track, all those sports. I'm not gonna lie and sit here and make up something. Like, once my youngest son started doing track, he basically started doing it year round. Started doing it year round. His freshman year in high school, started doing it year round, right? So he's doing the regular season, he's doing indoor season, doing outdoor season, doing, the spring, I guess, with AAU and all these different things and like that. And then, did that stuff through 9th to 12th grade year, then went to college and, doing the long and triple jump and all those great things. But what started happening? Knee injuries. That's what started happening with him. Knee injuries. So much strain. And I say all this to say this right here. When you have players, see that right there? when you have players who specialize, I think you have more propensity for injury. Joyce Edwards never specialized. Joyce Edwards played soccer, she played volleyball, and she played basketball. So she's working different muscles all year long, while also having over a 5.0 GPA in high school. We ain't never seen a player like that. We ain't never seen a player who's all stayed in soccer, all stayed in volleyball, all world in basketball. We ain't never seen nothing like that right there. We have not. Joy's gonna be the type of player that Dawn Staley has to sit down and say, yo, you're doing too much. But isn't that amazing? That's amazing as a player. It's amazing that South Carolina had to create a major in order to get her to come to the University of South Carolina. She's special. And I believe she's gonna give LSU some fits in the post. I believe she's gonna draw some fouls because the way her game is, she's gonna draw fouls. You have a player like Chloe Kitts who's getting you 19 minutes, getting you 10 rebounds, shooting 53% from the field, 55% from the two-point line, giving you 86% from the free throw line, 8 rebounds a game. Yeah, Chloe Kitts is almost averaging a double-double and playing 19 minutes a game. How crazy is that? She gets you an assist, she gets you a steal, she gets you a turnover. She's playing exceptional basketball. Chloe Kitts is one of the better players in the SEC. And sometimes opportunity happens for you. Sometimes you seize opportunity. Chloe Kitts seized opportunity over the summer and got better and better and better. And this is what you're seeing. Finally, Sania Feagin. Sania Feagin has arrived. And for the folks who don't know, for the LSU folks who are watching me right now, Sania Feagin is not the same Sania Feagin that y'all saw in the past. Sania Feagin, 6'3", Sania Feagin, country strong herself, is a problem. She's going to be a problem for y'all. Is no other way to say it. She will be a problem. She's giving you 17 minutes. She's giving you 7 points, 58% from the field, 59% from the two-point, and shooting 80% from the free throw line. Key stat for our 3-headed monster in the post. All of them shoot 80% from the free throw line. It's a big old reason why Carolina is top 35 in terms of free throw shooting. Those 3 players who actually go to the free throw line a lot is a key reason. They can knock down some free throws. Sania Feagin is also getting you 4 rebounds. She's getting you assists. She's getting you a steal. She's getting you 2 blocks per game. Only 1 turnover. This is in 17 minutes of basketball. Chloe Kitts, exceptional player. Joyce Edwards, freshman phenom. Sania Feagin, rim protector. Offensive moves on top of offensive moves. Can't wait for the battle. Can't wait for the matchups with Samaya Smith and Anissa Morrow going against these 3 players. We know that Anissa Morrow is their best defender, not just the best post defender, their best defender. But she's going to have her hands full guarding these 3 players. And with Anissa Morrow playing 33 minutes a game on Friday evening, she ain't playing no 33 minutes unless there's a foul situation. Anissa Morrow going to play about 38 minutes. And those 38 minutes, she's going to get all 3 of these. Let's talk about LSU's perimeter defense. LSU's perimeter defense is disruptive. They create steals. They love pace. They love fast breaking. They turn their defense into offense. They're one of the best teams that does that because they're athletic. and they're really good. Tessa Johnson is having the best year of her career. She's giving you 31 minutes. She's giving you 4 defensive rebounds. She's giving you 2 steals, 1 block shot. Her defensive rating is 82.8. That's really good. That's really good for LSU. And Michaela Williams, who's playing her best defensive ball, her defensive rating is 83.8. She's going to get you about 30 minutes. She's going to get you about 4 defensive rebounds and 1 steal. Those 2 players in particular are very solid in terms of defensive ratings and being disruptive. And they play a lot of minutes. LSU basically plays 7 players. The third player that gets some burn is Kaylin Gilbert. She gets you about 20 minutes a game. She gets you a couple defensive rebounds. She gets you a steal. Her defensive rating is around 87. Is LSU's perimeter defense as good as their excuse me. Is LSU's perimeter defense as good as their post defense? Not at all. Not at all. They aren't. Flage is really good defender, but Flage isn't as good as some of South Carolina defenders. She's not as good as Raven Johnson being a defender. She's not as good as MiLaysia Fulwiley. Michaela Williams is a good defender, but again, she's not as good as our perimeter defenders. But these 3, and particularly those 2, could cause some problems for South Carolina. But the problem for LSU in regards to their perimeter, the defenders, is they got to deal with, TNT. They have to deal with those. They got to deal with those 2 players. And TNT, for if you don't know, is Tina Pow and Tessa Johnson. The Splash sisters are something different. It's something different. Tina Pow is having one of the most offensive, efficient games or seasons, on record. She's gotten better and better and better. She's literally a pro right now playing, college basketball. She probably should be playing an Unrivaled right now, getting ready for her second season in the WNBA. Those are the facts, but she's not. She's not. Tina Pow going to get you about 25 minutes. She plays the most minutes for any player in South Carolina. 25 minutes, get you 11 points, shooting 49% from the field. She's shooting, 58%, 2-point percentage, 40% from the 3, get you 3 assists, only 1 turnover. Very good assist to turnover ratio. She's 7th in the SEC in terms of turnover percentage. Offensive rating 128.5. That's what LSU, Flage, Michaela Williams got to deal with. Just keeping it real. They got to deal with Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson getting you about 22 minutes off the bench, 10 points, 50% from the field. She's getting you about 55% from the 2-point percentage and 44% from 3. Tessa Johnson is different. 6'1", can guard you. Prettiest shot in college basketball. She's going to get you 2 assists, only 1 turnover. 2 players I just named, TNT, Splash Sisters themselves, only averaged about 2 turnovers combined per basketball game. And she has an offensive rating of 126.7. I couldn't name a bunch of players, but I'm going with those 2 because those 2 have the highest offensive rating. They are our best shooters, and I expect them to play well on Friday. I could have said MiLaysia Fulwiley. That's the X factor per se for this South Carolina basketball team for Friday. But in my opinion, MiLaysia Fulwiley is going to make more plays on defense on Friday than on offense. I think she's going to give them fits on defense. But we're talking about LSU's defense, trying to stop our offense. Totality. South Carolina's offense is better than LSU's offense. South Carolina has the 8th ranked offensive rating in basketball. LSU's defense is good. It's really good. But they gotta defend us. And it's 8th ranked 8th ranked offensive juggernaut. The powerhouse offensive team named South Carolina. South Carolina's 10th in offensive rebound percentage. Though that is a key stat. That's a key stat. And the reason why it's a key stat, because LSU is 77th in defensive rebound percentage. If that stat holds true, being the 10th best team out of 362 teams in terms of offensive rebounding percentage, we're going to get a lot of second chance shots. We're going to get some putbacks. We're going to get some possibly some fouls. Our best offensive rebounder is Chloe Kitts. When Chloe Kitts is on the bench, our offensive rebounding dip. That's just a fact, because Chloe Kitts is a locomotive. She's a go-getter. She does what she does. South Carolina's 10th in the country in terms of assist to turnover ratio. We don't commit a lot of turnovers, and we have a high assist to turnover rate. Could be because we start Raven Johnson and Tina Powell at the point guard position. They don't commit. Neither one commits turnovers. You bring in Tessa Johnson. She don't commit turnovers. Those 3 players, Breezy, don't commit turnovers. You know, the only perimeter player on our basketball team that commits turnovers is MiLaysia Fulwiley. She's the only one. Everybody else commits 1 turnover or less on this basketball team. Now, MiLaysia Fulwiley, you're going to take the good and bad, the happy and the sad, because she's going to be spectacular. She's going to be great, but she's going to commit some turnovers. So you just got to know that. So when the sensationalism brings turnovers, and we deal with that. As Gamecock fans, we deal with it. 18th in field goal percentage. You top 20 in the country in field goal percentage. You are doing something right as a basketball team. Could be because Carolina's 32nd in 2-point percentage. We get a lot of baskets. You know, we have several mid-range shooters. And the cool thing about that is, you know, we don't have per se a quote unquote stretch 4 who can go out to the 3-point line and knock down those jumpers. Maryam Dauda, I thought, was going to be that person. She did that at Arkansas, where she averaged about 34% from the 3-point line. She has not found her 3-point shot as a South Carolina Gamecock yet. But you got some players who can extend it out and hit that mid-range jumper. Joyce can, Sania can, and Chloe can. They can hit those mid-range jumpers. So if you got your 4, your 5 extending out past the free throw line and hitting a couple of jumpers, that's leaving some posts, because Anissa Morrow can't just hang out in the middle. Spencer can't hang out in the middle. And this is going to be different. This is different for these LSU teams trying to defend South Carolina, because there's no more Angel Reese, Camila Cardoza combination. There's no more, we're going to double team Aaliyah Boston because she's going to be so dominant down low. There's no more of that. What you have now is a freewheeling offense where multiple players can score. So will LSU double team Feagin or Chloe? I don't see that happening. I think they're going to try to take Pow out. When Tessa's in the game, I think they try to take out Tessa. I think our post can have a good game. We're 33rd in the country in terms of effective field goal percentage. And you're talking about effective field goal percentage, you're talking about the field goal percentage divided by this and that and multiply times the 3-point percentage. And you come out with this whole cool percentage. Bottom line up front, Carolina takes good shots and they make good shots. That effective field goal percentage, 33rd in the country, is only increasing because early in the season, our offense wasn't as crisp. It wasn't as fluent. It wasn't as good. Now we are playing really pretty basketball. We are not playing really pretty basketball when the ball sticks, when you have players having high usage rates, when you have players that are not taking the right shots. And sometimes they happen. And you look over at Dawn Staley, either on TV or you're at the game, and she about to lose her damn mind. That's what happens. Carolina's not shooting the three-point ball as great as it was last year. Right now, we're 60th in terms of three-point percentage. And we can say that because MiLaysia's three-point percentage is low. We can say because Raven Johnson's three-point percentage is low because Tahina shot 46% from the 46.8%, 47% from three-point line last year. Now she's at 40%, and Tessa is shooting great at 44%, and Breeze is shooting a good three-point percentage as well. So we can even it out to some degree. Bottom line, we're shooting about 60th. I'm not a fan. I've said this before. I'm not a fan of Fulwiley shooting 6 3-pointers per basketball game. Not a fan of that whatsoever. I wasn't a fan of that on Oklahoma. She hit that crazy shot, buzzer beater, but that was only against Oklahoma. But that was only 3 she hit out of 6 shots. I want because with Fulwiley, I want her because for me it seems like when she's giving. Fulwiley can go around anybody. Let's make that abundantly clear right now. She can go around anyone she wants to. She's the best one-on-one player in the country. I think the Fulwiley settles for the 3 because she can get off whatever shot she wants to get off. She can get off. It doesn't matter. I think that if Fulwiley shot about 2 or 3 3-pointers per basketball game instead of 5 or 6, I would be more comfortable because if she's driving to the basket, she is straight up elite. And then she hits her free throws. I want to see more of that from MiLaysia Fulwiley going forward. Potential game changers. LSU is intense. Their coach is intense. Their fan base is intense. And I love this rivalry between LSU and South Carolina. They are coming to South Carolina to win. Make no mistake about it. They are getting on that plane and they are coming to Columbia, South Carolina to win the game. They're going to be here to stop the SEC winning streak in the regular season. They're going to be there to stop the home winning streak at Colonial Life Arena. They want to beat South Carolina so bad. It's going to be a fun game. If their defense is on point, this could be an interesting game. It would be a very interesting game if LSU stays out of foul trouble and Carolina does not shoot the basketball well. If they disrupt this offense by Carolina, it's going to be a very interesting game because Carolina shoots well from the perimeter. Tina Pow and Tessa Johnson are 2 of the best in the country shooting the ball from the perimeter. But Carolina is also really good in the post. I mentioned before, LSU's post defense is much better if Anissa Monroe is in the game. LSU plays a very fast pace. They don't have a deep bench. This could be a scenario where LSU just run out of gas. They defend well in the first quarter, second quarter, and eventually, the attrition gets to them. But that first quarter, those first 6 minutes in this basketball game on Friday evening is so important because at the 6-minute mark, Carolina will sub in a Joyce Edwards, most likely a Tessa Johnson, and possibly a MiLaysia Fulwiley. LSU ain't gonna sub in nobody. Ain't gonna sub in nobody. They might take out Sania Smith. They might. But when our Energizer Bunnies come off the bench the team that leads the country in terms of bench points. Because I talked about Joyce Edwards being the leading scorer for South Carolina, giving you about 20 minutes per game, and she's our leading scorer. Second leading scorer is Tahina Powell. Third leading scorer is MiLaysia Fulwiley, who also comes off the bench. The Raven Johnson's not going to get you a bunch of points consistently. That's not our game. Breezy not going to get you a bunch of points consistently. So the starting lineup for South Carolina, those first 6 minutes, is to establish a defensive presence, especially at home. Especially at home. Then we transition to, we're going to score this damn basketball. So we're going to put MiLaysia. We're going to put MiLaysia. We're going to put in Tessa, and we're going to put in Joyce Edwards and see what you do. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Fouls can really impact this game. And fouls by the LSU Tigers, with them not having a deep team, and I anticipate Flage playing the whole game unless she's in foul trouble. Whenever they play tough teams or in a tough way, they play on the abundance of minutes. You can look at the Vanderbilt game. You can look at, various different games. Tennessee game, they're going to play a ton of minutes. MiLaysia, Flage, Anissa Morrow, Michaela Williams are going to play a ton of minutes. It is what it is. But eventually they will get tired. Foul trouble. If Anissa Morrow gets in early foul trouble, if she get 2 fouls in the first quarter, this is going to be a very difficult game for LSU to win. If Flage gets in early foul trouble trying to get a steal or what have you, it's going to be very tough. Very tough, because those three players shoot the majority of the shots, get the majority of the rebounds, the majority of the assists, all those things. They are their focus, their big three, if you will. If one of those players get in foul trouble, the trajectory of this basketball game immediately changes. Immediately changes. Will LSU be able to slow down South Carolina's offense? I think they will. I think they will slow down South Carolina's offense. I think they are a very good defensive team. I think that there are going to be times where where South Carolina goes on some drought scoring. I think they will. But what I also think is South Carolina going to go on some streaks. They're going to go on some 7-0 runs, 9-0 runs against LSU and make that difference up. The notion that LSU will shut down Carolina's defense offense is completely false. That ain't happening. South Carolina is a better offense than they are defense. So the pendulum is swung up to South Carolina's side. Them playing so many minutes for their star players is in Carolina's favor. Flage is really good. Morrow is really good. Michaela Williams is really good. Those three players are sensational. But are those three players going to carry them past Tessa and Powell and Fulwiley and Chloe and Joyce and Raven? So many different players that Carolina has. We'll see. It's definitely going to be a test of LSU's defensive resolve, because they got to defend. They have to defend South Carolina. The pace of play that they play might be in our wheelhouse, because we can play. We can and we will play at pace. We did it against Oklahoma, and Oklahoma got dead tired. And LSU is not as deep as Oklahoma. Not as deep. I don't know if they're as good as Oklahoma. I don't know if LSU is good as Texas. I don't know. We'll find out on Friday. But it's razor thin with LSU, in my opinion, because their dependence on three players. It's razor thin. It's going to be a crucial test for both teams. Make no mistake about it. It's going to be interesting watching this basketball game, because it means so much for the future of the regular season, title in the SEC. It's going to mean very important for the seeding in the SEC tournament. All those things are going to be so important in this basketball game, because after this basketball game, we got Tennessee on Monday. Then we got, a couple of games that Carolina be favored by a whole lot. Before you know it, the regular season in the SEC will be over, and we'll be talking about March. So we got some games in the future with Texas on February the 9th that is freaking crazy. It's going to be in Austin, Texas. We got, Kentucky at the end of the season. Kentucky is good. March the 2nd. We got A-Day on February the 2nd against Auburn. We're going to win by 30, 40 points. So this game right here is so important for South Carolina. More so important for South Carolina, because they want to continue that dominancy over LSU that's been going on for many, many years. A lot of this game will come down to if LSU can contain South Carolina's offense. If LSU can't defend South Carolina's offense, this game could get ugly. It could. That is going to be so important. LSU got to stay locked in on defense to keep this thing close, because they will get tired. And it's nothing like being tired and you trying to chase around MiLaysia Fulwiley, and you trying to guard the three-point line where Tessa Johnson and Powell are just lighting it up. This game going to be so much fun. So much fun. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, so I continue to bring you that gospel Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.
J-Rock did this